Sunday, May 10th. It's time for a stock market update. So much going on that I neglected the stock market for last week for the most part. However, this week, boy, I'm expecting it to be a crazy week, and I'm going to be on top of it doing videos daily because looks like I should be able to do that. So we're going to talk about all this work that I've done. Even though I've neglected paying attention to the market, I've actually been updating this master Google Sheet file. This is a kind of a almost live. It's like 20-minute delayed on its quotes, but it gives you all your information about your tickers. I've done some videos about how to write the Google Finance formula that does this and brings in information like price. But I've taken all that and I've added to it a lot of different ways to look at stocks, and I'm starting to create certain prices that matter so that we can sort this. The whole goal of this was to be able to browse and look through, sort through a bunch of stocks and say, hey, this is the way I look at the stocks when I say, a low target price that's like beating, uh, shining out at you saying that the stock is lower than it should be. It's at 76.40. And I would say grab it if you ever see it under 80. That's what this number is. When you sort it by that, you see that Merck, Walmart, Abbott Labs, I should, I should lower this to 80. Actually, nah, yeah, I'll show you what that does. It moves things around. Point is, I've been able to really start grab information about all these stocks, and I've been watching them for months. So I'm learning tons of things. And the best way to look at this going through this, and when I say Ken's top 10 stocks, if you hear that, is these stocks in order of percent of ceiling price. What that means is that whatever the stock price is right now, I believe in the near to reasonably near, mid to near future, the stock is going to reach a price that's listed here. So if you ever see it below this, it's technically sort of a buy. The range is between 600 and 1,000, and the closer it is to 600, the more I'd grab of Tesla. Well, Tesla, Walmart, Merck. Let's take a look at these stocks, the top 10 of them, and open them up in a broader way to say, well, what is it about these stocks? How did these stocks perform over the last week? And we can go back further and further and further. That's what I'll show you. So in order of what I would say to have bought, over the past few weeks, this list has been continually updated, but these are the stocks that are up there. Here's the last 7 days of Tesla. Started down here, ended up here. Good for them. Walmart down a tiny bit. Merck down a little bit. Abbott up a little bit over the last 7 days. AT&T now. I have AT&T on here, which I hadn't talked about previously, because they are one of the two main diversified telecom. It's them and Verizon that are really just the huge heavyweights in that industry, which if you think about, having a phone and a functioning plan and having service is a huge thing. And so I see them as undervalued because if you look at their stock over the last 150 days, it changed the little chart here to instead of just 7 days, the last 150, you see that AT&T has taken a huge drop. And there are probably other underlying things in their financials that are driving this. However, the strength of the towers, the connection, the service, all that stuff that they built infrastructure-wise, they are a bigger company than this, and I see them going up. So that's why I have them so high on the list. In terms of they're at 99% of their ceiling, I'd say buy them up to 30, and they're almost there. And if they went down to 25, grab, right? Well, it's fun to look at it like, so let's go back to just the last 7 days. We're just talking about the last week. Like, how did things go short term the last week that we've had up here? And AT&T's up a little over the week. LSI up a little flat, but that's fine. They'll announce earnings again at some point, and they'll still have more business for the screens. So I think they'll steadily go up to like 7. Target had a good week because people realize they're open and they're the Walmart alternative. They had a better week than Walmart. But but they're going to max out soon there as well. See, what I have for Target is I say buy them up to 110. So I don't even have them as a buy right now. And the reason why is when you look at them, let's say over the last year, 365 days, you could see that they're nicely arced here, but like, were they ever really going to continue on and go up like this? And it's not the retail giants MO to have massively exponential profits. They're not like a tech company or software company that can multiply their product. So you see that like Walmart, for example, they had a spike here because all of a sudden they were the only thing open for a month. Now they're still one of the only things open, especially if you're in a small town. So they're coming back to normal, but they're going to steadily increase and they're never going to run out of business. I mean, you just know it. So but they don't have these huge spikes that you would normally see. So that's why my target price is a little low on target. Carol's Restaurant Group. Now, this is interesting. And you see something going down here, but then etching up apparently in the last, like, what was that, 30 days? The Carol's Restaurant Group is a bunch of Burger King chain franchise owners. And I'm a little partial to this because I used to make fun of Burger King and not like a lot of the things that they provide. However, they have the Impossible Burger. The Impossible Burger is the one that's not meat and tastes awesome. And I find myself going to Burger King when nothing's open. You don't want to get on, wear a mask and go order something somewhere, or whip out your phone and go onto an app. You just want to drive through somewhere and get some food because you're in a hurry. So the Burger King chain and the Impossible Burger. I was talking to the girl at the register or the window with her mask half on, as they like to wear here. That's like the new thing, is wearing your mask around your chin. It means you're cool. I see it a lot. And I was like, hey, how are you guys doing with the Impossible Burgers? And she's like, yeah, we sell a lot of them. I was like, I bet you are. And so this thing right here, look at the last 7 days. They have had a huge day. I think on Thursday or Friday probably. So I do think that Burger King picks up some business because of that Impossible Burger and because of the need for drive-through and fast food. So there's two reasons. So that's why I like Carol's Restaurant Group and their 200 or 400 change of whatever. I think 200 something chains at least. Um, anyway, all right. So there's that. Then Google, of course, continued to be awesome. Goes up another 1% on the day. They just look at that straight lining up. Alphabet, Google. They're above their price target, the high ceiling I have for them at 1,300, yet they are probably going to get to 1,500 really. What am I doing? I mean, they're just, you don't realize how much they're into everything. They own YouTube. YouTube is dictating what kind of videos people see about the science of what's going on. They're on a pull down frenzy trying to figure out how to mitigate the information. And I agree, it's a huge issue, but they're in demand because YouTube is used so heavily in a free resource for everyone to post anything. They are everywhere, they're into everything. Um, so yeah, they just moved up on the list. I do think they're above Abbott Labs. Absolutely. Their growth potential is much greater than Abbott's because Abbott has a lot of competitors as well. We do anything else we want to talk about there? Intuitive Surgical is something else I was looking at. My note on them was intriguing research products. Oh yeah, the Da Vinci thing. So they're like autonomous robotic surgery. Yes, this is another topic that I'm not fully prepared for in this video, but I keep hearing about it and I want to bring it up. So I was listening to a podcast today, This Week in Virology, TWIV. Vincent Racaniello is the guy's name, who is a professor and he does a lot of podcasts about viruses. Viruses, the kind that make you sick. That's how he starts up every podcast. He's funny and highly informative about all this. They were talking to a dentist or somebody who knows about dentists and what dentists are going through. And dental care is going to be totally different now because it's a high exposure environment to the virus and stuff like that. And they were talking about how things were changing and how the dentists are probably going to start wearing shields instead of masks. And also, they're trying to look at things like robotic dentistry. So you know how you have those robots in machine manufacturing plants that are welding things and moving around. There's like a Coco robot arm or something too, an orange robot arm that's like the fastest in the world. These robot arms that can do all these things. Why can't you get a robot arm to clean somebody's teeth and do robotic dentistry so that you don't have to be in someone's face and sharing air or getting particulate shot out of someone's mouth all that much? It's a very interesting and intriguing opportunity. I believe that a company like Intuitive Surgical that does this for surgery can migrate or piggyback on that technology they already have to work on something like a dental robot, because We all need to get teeth cleanings. We all need to get haircuts. We all need to do this stuff. But the problem is being around other physical human beings and sharing their air while it's going on. So how do we avoid that? The answer is robotic dentistry, where somebody's wearing a glove in the room next to you, doing it with their hands, and only they have to come in and deal with you in person if there's a special case. So it really limits the amount of exposure that you're going to have with people. We're so going in this direction because of the fear of contracting the virus and getting high inoculate loads inhaled and into your system. So, all right. What else do we want to talk about for this week? I know there was some news about famotidine, which is the Pepcid product. I think Merck has the license to that. This is why I keep talking about Merck. Merck, I believe, has the license for famotidine. Famotidine came out, and they're giving some information about the trials going on in New York. It was like 22% died from without getting the famotidine. Only 10% died with the famotidine. That was the rough estimate on the 80 people or 260 people. Not a huge trial yet, but consistently showing that it's helping. And also, or unexplainably, better results for people that are on it. It's not unexplainable. The famotidine is the proper shape to bond with the protease or some part of the virus. So that's why it's able to probably help, because it sweeps up some of the virus and prevents it from replicating in other cells. Because you just, if you have a million bad things flowing through your system and you can find a way to inject something that's going to stick to 500,000 of them, 300,000 of them, 700,000, what percentage you can bond to and find as you ingest something that goes through your system to try to sweep it up, the less chance you're going to have a overly infectious bout with the virus, because fewer of them are going to be able to bond to your other cells. That's why these things like famotidine are going to be helpful. And I kind of see a future where people get tested and assume that they've been exposed frequently, and then take a quick antiviral or a quick injection of Pepcid or whatever it's going to be that allows you to get a boost of this. It's really I want to call it like a mop particle or a mop, because that's what I feel like it does. It goes in your system and mops up the bad stuff because it bonds to just the bad stuff when done right. Okay, so it seems like this is going to be. I think you're going to hear news about this week, and their stocks got to go up, even though it's generic and they're not going to make a ton of money off selling a ton of it. You just can't help but have the stock go up when you're like, oh yeah, Pepcid. You can't find it. You try to find some Pepcid right now. I bet you cannot find it. People are ordering it from the moon. Like, it doesn't exist anymore because it's all gone. I don't know how we're going to make more of it. I don't know if Merck becomes really rich from this, because so many people are going to be using it as a quick antiviral almost. It's acting as an antiviral, even though it's not classified as an antiviral, because it just so happens to bond to the virus really well. So it's a really weird situation. I love the information about the studies that are coming out about it, because I know I was working with something months ago trying to figure out what the shape of something would be that could molecularly bond to the virus. And instead of me having to do all the work, somebody already did all the work. The DARPA organization did all the work, and then they have already contacted drug companies, and they're sort of pseudo trying it out, which is what this is, which is what's going on. And that's awesome. That's awesome that that's happening. And I have faith in that approach to treating the virus in its early stages. It's not going to get people to not die that have advanced cytokine storm, as it's called, or advanced immunoresponse after 2 weeks of fighting it off and not beating it. It is not going to save those people, because at that point the virus is actually exiting your system and is already going down anyway. It's your body. It's like the bridge finally collapses after being burned for a while, and you're watching it. Like, you burned it and you're watching it burn, but so finally the fire's out, but then somebody walks an elephant across the bridge and it's over, right? You think it just goes. So that's kind of what's happening in your immune system, and why something like the Pepcid or famotidine, the the antivirals and stuff don't work after probably 10 days or so. They're going to have very, very limited effect on you. And the earlier you get them, the better. You get them on day 2, day 3, you're probably not going to develop something huge and long lasting, because aiding your immune system. You're giving yourself a boost against just a specific virus. All right, enough of my preaching about it, but I can't wait to see what happens this week and over the next month as that theory is more discussed and there's hard evidence to really determine how much it's helping. So anyway, that's why I'm bullish on Merck. Is there anything else? So yeah, I said buy the Burger King chain because of the Impossible Whopper. You don't know what's going on with meat. We don't have a solution for this problem. We're going to end up feeling great and going out for a week, and then everyone's going to get sick, and then we're going to run back and go home. Kids are going to get more illnesses that show up because the more exposures you get to it, the more this stuff's going to crop up, and we're all going to get scared again. And we're just going to have to try to treat it. That's what's going to happen. Look at Beyond Meat absolutely crushing it this week. I did a video about Beyond Meat. I mean, not a video about Beyond Meat, but I called it like we can't meet, so it's time to try Beyond Meat or something like that. They were at 100 at that point, and sure enough, everyone got scared. The whole meat situation's still not rectified because of processing and exposure. People are already getting. I mean, it used to be back in the day. I remember there used to be recalls, and you hear like, "Oh, don't eat the romaine lettuce; it's got E. coli or something in it. Be careful." And everyone would be freaked out, and nobody'd have a salad for a month, right? Well, now you've got a deadly virus, and you have cases being reported in. South Dakota's got hundreds of cases at a plant because that's the only place everyone's going, hanging out, talking, and ripping apart cows, right? So of course, people are going to get freaked out, and this is the result of that. Look at Beyond Meat, just crushes it this week. They went up like 30% this week, and but however, here's the thing. They're not I wish it was Impossible Foods that was on the stock market. They're not. Impossible Foods is a private company to my knowledge. And I'd love to invest in them because the Whopper and the Impossible Whopper that I'm getting at Burger King from Task down here, that's coming not from Beyond Meat. It's coming from Impossible Foods. So there's this problem, and I think that this stock is pretty volatile. And I got and I took my 100, my Beyond Meat, and I sold it at 120 because I don't trust this long term. I just wanted to ride that 20%, and I'm happy with my meatless profit. So anyway, I'll do some more videos this week. It's gonna be a lot of fun, and may all your trades be winning.